Drivin Ivan here, and behind me, an Italian and American two-seat convertible. Extremely rare for a Cadillac. So I'm going to tell you all about the Cadillac Allante. I'll tell you about its history, but I'll tell you something more. You know, cars, they really bring out feelings in us, and all cars have stories. So this one is quite special for me. Let's find out why, and let's find out if I'm impressed. Well, the shape is certainly impressive. It's red, which brings you a feeling of certainly Italian cars, but those bold Cadillac emblems on the chrome wheels, well, they let you know that this is actually a Cadillac. So maybe if you've never seen one, you don't quite know what to make out of it, but it is, I think, a very attractive two-seat luxury grand touring convertible automobile. Certainly when this car was released in 1987, it was a standout in terms of its looks. Elegant and sophisticated, sure, but also sporty. And though maybe looking at it now, you might not think it looks modern, back then it was super, super modern. This Pininfarina badge is basically all the evidence you need. Pininfarina, of course, being the style house of Italian cars for decades, most famously designing a ridiculous amount of unforgettable and famous Ferraris. It's definitely a catchy looker from every angle. I think its fantastic looks shine through top up or top down. Well, there you go. So it's an interesting procedure to open the top. First, of course, you pop the hood off, and then you open up the rear of the top, open the cover, and then push the top back and then close the cover, assisted with power here. And some pull switches. Yes, it certainly looks very inviting, especially with the top down. A great timeless shape. Nice job, Pininfarina. Inside, this low mileage car has really held up well over time. Check out those cool side accents here. Kind of a scoop over there by the glove box. Allante. Power everything, which, you know, was rare for back in the day. Adjustable steering wheel with an airbag, and of course you could lock the glove box there. I'll turn the digital instrument display on in a second. Power windows again over here, and power mirrors, and of course power seats too with lumbar support. Very, very nice. Harder to see the instrument display during the day since it's a very, very sunny, bright day. You can adjust that on the left hand side here. Twilight, sentinel, delay, all sorts of controls for the lights in the dash here. Cruise control, very nice to have. And of course, heating and cooling vents all around and up top for your defrost. And standard transmission stalk here. Cigarette lighter and ashtray, which thankfully doesn't look like it's been used much. Here is your armrest, and underneath that, if you pull it up, you have a lockable compartment right here. Whoop. Then you have your fuel door and your trunk to open that up, and down here more storage, plus coin storage too. Sign of the times, right? This is a 1992, so that was very nice to have back then for parking and such. It's lit too, notice. Really nice. This one even has the handy dandy reference guide for lowering the soft top. Really nice. Got your glove box there as well. I'm not sure you'd want to put any cups there. This one did come with an aftermarket cup holder, although I'm definitely not going to be eating or drinking in a car this clean. So there you go. State-of-the-art luxury in this Allante convertible. For the time, anyway. You even get some space behind the front seats for weekend bags and groceries. Very nice. Let's go ahead and pop the trunk. Check it out. Yes, for a 2-seat convertible back in the day here, yeah, this is a very large trunk taken up by the car cover and also the workshop manual in this case, even storage underneath there, but it's got a nice pull right here, and you can go ahead and check out the spare tire there, and you can hide some stuff down here. Notice it even has the options codes down there printed here. That's pretty cool. This is very advanced for back in the day. Watch this trick. Whoop. Yeah, it's even powered and automatically shuts the trunk there. Very cool and very, very advanced for back in the day. Well, let's just go through the history of what powers these Cadillac Allantes. Always a V8, but it started off in 1987 with just 170 horsepower, good for a 0 to 60 of 9 seconds. And then in 1989, they upgraded to a 4.5 liter V8, and that had 200 horsepower and 270 pound-feet of torque, and that's what this one has, and it was good for a 0 to 60 time in the mid 7-second range. And then the last year, 1993, they came out with the North Star version, and that had 295 horsepower and 290 pound-feet of torque and a 4.6 liter V8, 0 to 60 in the 6s. So yes, quicker, but reliability became a big issue. And that's why I chose to get this one here, the 1992, with the 4.5 liter V8. In terms of fuel economy, well, you're looking at about 14 in the city and 21 in the highway. So here I am in my own Cadillac Allante. To me, this means something different than just, okay, I have an Allante. Most reviews of the Allante tell you 56 bodies were put on a plane and flown back and forth from Italy to America near Detroit, where they were put together. And of course it was a joint effort between Styling House, Pininfarina, and they were, of course, the styling house for Ferraris. So Pininfarina, if you want cachet from Europe, where do you go? And that's what Cadillac wanted, because they wanted to compete with the Jaguar XJS, the Mercedes SL, and really 2-seat roadsters like that. Cadillac hadn't built a 2-seat roadster since way back, about 50 years prior. So they needed to do it right, and so they went to Pininfarina, and this car was built from 1987 to 1993, with the last year, of course, with the North Star V8. And yeah, that car's quicker, and that car is in some ways more sought after. But if you look at the experts and what they say about these cars, well, actually you want this one. You want a 1992. It's the last year of these great Recaro seats, and it basically has the more reliable V8 in it. And so to me, that's what I wanted. I wanted this last year of the 4.5 liter V8. Plenty quick, but none of the problems associated with the North Star. But you heard me say, everybody tells you that about the Allante, and these mean something special to me. What do they mean? Well, I took my driver's test in a 1970 Cadillac Coupe DeVille convertible, turquoise with white leather. It was my dad's car, and well, it was a special car. I remember thinking there was no way I was going to fail that driver's test, because the guy was so happy. It was a very sunny, warm day, and he came out to administer the driving test to me, and the top was down, and I'm not sure if I ran over somebody that I would have passed, but I didn't think that I wouldn't pass that test. Anyway, passed it the first time, of course, and that car and all of the cars that my family had, my granddad had Cadillacs, and he used to say, they're the best cars. He had a thing for the best, and he thought Cadillacs were the best. And late in his life, well, he had a Cadillac Allante. And so I've spent my life around Cadillacs, Eldorados. We had a few of those. We had a family business and basically repaired convertible tops and car stereos. And my granddad's business was basically selling car radios ever since there were car radios. So there you go. And then what happened? Well, if you just search Drivin Ivan Cadillac on YouTube, well, you'll see I've reviewed lots of Cadillacs, the ATS and the CTS-V wagon with a 6-speed manual transmission. Yes. So Cadillac came out with a beast, like a European wagon with a 6-speed manual and an 8-cylinder engine and 0 to 60 in the 3s. And it was just insane. This is like a paradigm shift for Cadillac. And maybe people don't know, you know, Cadillacs were basically synonymous with extreme luxury and extremely comfortable rides. And while the newer Cadillacs are comfortable, they're not like this Allante. This Allante really is a bit of European performance and I would say grand touring luxury and speed. But it's basically a comfortable car that's still a Cadillac in the classic sense. So to me, this is the ultimate Cadillac because it's a convertible, it's a 2-seater, it's special, it's a standout. So I like rare Cadillacs. I just posted the 4-door convertible Cadillac, the DTS, which is very rare. I think less than 10 of those were made. I posted that on my YouTube, so check that out. And also a wagon Coupe DeVille from like late 60s, I think that was used to escort people around Indy or something like that. Amazing car. But to me, the special Cadillacs and the Cadillacs of old with this compliant, nice, comfortable, cushy ride. This one even has lumbar support. This was the best that car manufacturers could put together at the time. The digital dash, power, everything. This was absolute top niche of luxury. And though I do like modern Cadillacs, I especially enjoyed testing the ELR, which is basically the Chevy Volt in Cadillac guys when I was driving around Southern California. That was amazing. I think that's the spiritual successor. If they would have made a convertible, maybe the XLR is because it's convertible, but that car, the shape and everything feels like the spiritual successor to the Allante. And although, like I say, I love the new cars, this one to me is where I want to be, the car I choose to own for my own private collection. And this is a super clean example. Right now it's got 36,137 miles on it. I'm driving it to a car show, and that's what you want to do with this car. It's just a cruiser. You don't drive it in bad weather. The leather is still in great condition. Car runs great. The alignment's great. Still got good power. And it's just a flashback timepiece. They were grand tours in the traditional sense. And what does that mean? It means basically a car you could drive long distance with some luggage and be comfortable in. You could take your honey to a nice destination over the weekend and just drive in comfort. Whether you're driving an hour or 6 hours straight, you're going to be comfortable and you're going to get there in style and you're going to get there as quick as you want to get there. And it's just an all-around great sporty vehicle. And with its extremely cool connection to Pininfarina, that just really takes the cake for me. I really think this Cadillac Allante is special. I did have a Buick Riata prior to this, and they're very similar cars. They say that was over-engineered. And certainly I think this one is just as over-engineered as the Riata. In fact, its whole story of being sent on a plane and being built in a transcontinental way, well, that in and of itself is just a great story. This was very advanced for back in the day. Go ahead and start it. And, well, lights up and tells you what's going on. It says check info center. So you go ahead over here to the info center and it says, what does it say? Courtesy lamp, left door. And there you go. So that's what's wrong. And then when you press this reset button, press it twice, Well, then it sees that you've acknowledged what's wrong with the car, and it goes off. There you go. Not too much wrong with this very nice example here. And checking out the night look on the Allante, that's what it's all about, the digital dash. Check it out. This one's a little dim, but still very cool to see everything here all bright and very late 80s, early 90s like. 4-speed transmission lit up here to show your gear selector, and then even on the side here and right there on the side as well. Very, very cool. And retro too. Love it. There's a button located underneath the tonneau cover. When you press that, it resets it, and then it will grab the top and pull it down with power. This is something very interesting from a car of this era. Driving over a speed bump, you feel almost nothing. It's just very cushy and nothing like modern cars. This is what the Allante is really made for, just cruising around with the top down on a nice sunny day. It's hard to beat this car in terms of comfort, and still it even has some speed too, and a bit of handling. Pretty throaty, and it will get up and go, make no question about it. But of course, the Cadillac is a grand touring car, 2-seat convertible, designed to compete with the Mercedes SL and the Jaguar XJS convertibles, and it does a great job. It's certainly strong American competition for those vehicles. So yeah, to me, this Cadillac Allante definitely offers something that other cars don't offer. It's a very ownable and drivable classic car. Parts aren't going to be a real problem. Values are anywhere from a couple $1,000s for a wreck all the way up to $25,000 probably for the cleanest examples. And this one is pretty darn clean. Little bit of wind noise just over the top, but you could actually get a hard top for these too. Some came standard with it. Sometimes it was an option. It would raise the prices mid-year, but the Cadillac Allante from 87 to 1993, whichever one you choose, you're getting the pinnacle of Cadillac refinement and luxury, and I think history all wrapped in a car that is just a beautiful flashback to a great time when the convertible was just coming back into fashion in America and all was good. So there you have it. Don't forget to smash that like button. I hope you've done it already. Smash the subscribe button too. Check out my podcast, Car Capers, to hear some cool car stories, maybe even about the old Cadillac that I was talking about and many other cars too. And what makes a car special? Those are my two podcasts. You can find them anywhere you listen to podcasts. Just search Drivin Ivan, Ivan Katz podcast. And check out my literal video for Chris Isaac's Wicked Game. If you want to see some of my car collection, a lot of my musical instrument collection, check out my Free Your Mind music video. And also check out my disc golf videos. It's a great sport. You can play with your whole family. And do subscribe to that other channel, Ivan Katz Productions, where you can see more videos, pop culture videos. Check out Jim Morrison's life in Alexandria, Virginia, or Andy Warhol's house, school, and church in Pittsburgh, or the Chelsea Hotel. Got some interesting videos on those topics. So again, thanks for watching. I'm Drivin Ivan.